Hello, I'm Mikhail Khodorkovsky and you're watching Break the Fake. They make them, we break them and tell you everything you need to know. On Monday morning, the chief of the Iranian Red Crescent, Mikhail Khodorkovsky, reported that all of the passengers and crew of the helicopter carrying Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi perished in the Sunday crash. The news has been since confirmed also by the vice president of the country. It's kind of strange, given previous reports from Iranian regime media saying that the president is very much alive and that two crew members walked away from the crash in good enough condition to speak to someone. But that's the way with propaganda. Sooner or later the bluff gets cold and the truth surfaces, however shameful or inconvenient. Now, we've never been particular fans of the Iranian president nor any other mullah working to build a truly deranged system inside their country and supporting dozens of terrorist groups, including the Kremlin. So don't expect us to, spill tears or strike mournful tones. What's the bad news then? Well, reportedly, President Raisi was profoundly scared of a potential world war. He was also the driving force behind the attack on Israel, in which scores of drones and missiles sailed towards the country for a couple of hours, only for the international media to basically forget about them before their arrival. In the meantime, the Israeli air defenses managed to mobilize, hold exercises and put together a live performance routine to welcome the long-awaited Iranian drones. Well, we don't know who's going to replace Raisi, but given the increasingly belligerent remarks coming from the mullahs, it could always be someone even worse. But let's get back to the mullahs' beloved friend, terrorist-in-chief of Eastern Europe, Vladimir Putin. Apparently, he's been sending out his body doubles to work his public duties, but without training. They've been resorting to speaking nonsense like this. Let's take a look and see what you make of it.
Вот мы это и делаем. Что касается Харькова, то таких планов на сегодняшний день нет.
And that's how it goes in Russia. The average Ivan turns on the TV to see the sheer embodiment of truth and morals. The red-nosed clown Solovyov himself say that we're taking everything all the way to Lisbon, only to then cook up plans of conquering Kharkiv, barely outside the Russian border, along with his boozed-up friends. Nobody actually cares that the Kremlin's messaging on this makes zero sense. After all, the Russians fell in love with Putin not because of his moral character or devotion to truth. No, he impressed them with his brutality and crude personality. A sophisticated leader he is not, and that seems precisely the point.
Вот он в Харьков-то приехал, да? Уже говорят, что следующая поездка Зеленского будет в Запорожье. Тоже хорошая новость.
Ну, однако он сидит в Киеве, Киев мы не взяли еще.
Все
Поэтому
впереди.
здесь я бы тоже... А зачем его брать? Нет, у меня нет ответа. То есть по мне надо брать все, включая Лиссабон.
Ну, конечно.
Но просто когда такие вопросы будут стоять, да, например, брать Харьков, как? То есть так, как берут американцы, превратив это все в выжженную пустыню?
Ну, Владимир Владимирович, здесь я говорил, что
да, мы как раз с вами этот вопрос обсуждали,
а Харьков, конечно, русский город.
Нет, они все русские города и не по разу, но речь о другом. Брать как?
Russia has been pouring all of its imperial might into taking the next village in the Donbas. But some are still claiming that Ukraine will lose Kharkiv before the year is out, and Odesa by mid-2025. Among these voices is none other than former oligarch and political prisoner, and now self-styled leader of the Russian opposition, Mikhail Khodorkovsky.
Что означает с учетом американских поставок? Реальное соотношение расходов на войну 2,5 к 1 в пользу Путина в лучшем случае. А в этом году, без американских поставок, 4 к 1 в лучшем случае. Неудивительно, что если в начале войны соотношение численности населения Украины и России составляло 40 миллионов к 142 миллионам, то есть 3,5 к 1, в настоящее время 7 к 1. Ну и как воевать прикажете? При таком соотношении поставок, ну и сил, Украина к концу года потеряет Харьков. К середине следующего – Одессу. Соотношение сил станет 10-12 к 1 к концу 2025 года. И к началу, к середине 2026 года Украина продолжит только партизанскую войну. Львов сохранится, если туда войдут войска НАТО в лице Польши. И это все лучший сценарий, если ВСУ будут по-прежнему героически сопротивляться, несмотря на безнадежность ситуации. Иначе все произойдет быстрее. Вот только дальше. Через 2 года у границ Польши будет стоять объединенная русско-украинская армия. Ну как? Люди будут обижены, людям надо что-то есть, а в армии платят. Мы все это видели на Донбассе. Мы все это видели. Путин едет к Си. Си заявил, что запретных зон для сотрудничества больше нет. Если демократии не хотят объединяться и давать решительный отпор, диктатуры больше не боятся. И прошу обратить внимание, Путину нужна не территория. Путину нужна война для внутренних целей. И слабый Запад для этого прекрасная мишень.
I admit, these comments left us baffled. There is a difference between, raising awareness and being a convenient doomsayer. Okay, change the topic. What do we know about Russian soldiers? Are they courageous and strong? Not really. Are they valiant defenders of freedom? Nope. Wait. We know this one. The Russian army is a band of marauders masquerading as a military force. Yes, everyone seems to agree with that. They were busy looting whatever they could get their hands on in the early days of the invasion and still go through whatever town or village they capture like locusts, leaving everything in their wake stripped to the bone. Let's take a look at Russian soldiers at work in the city of Vovchansk in the Kharkiv region. I just wish the resolution was a bit higher. I really wanted to see this classic image of a Russian soldier carrying a toilet seat to take it home. Is anyone surprised anyway? Not really. But you know what the craziest thing about this situation is? That some citizens of Vovchansk who stayed behind in the city on account of their pro-Russian sympathies were showing the Russian occupiers which houses have been abandoned to make it easier for them to loot. It's been more than 2 years of Russia's full-scale war. Moscow has been launching drone and missile attacks against Ukrainian cities almost every night, and Russians have been pushing on with their agenda of wiping out the Ukrainian nation with abandon. But for some people, heads packed with Russian propaganda, it's totally fine. They are still willing to help the occupiers. This is how deep the Russian lies burrow into people's minds. It's been another rowdy night in Russia. What do we mean? The Security Service of Ukraine, working alongside the Unmanned Systems Force, meaning drones, have arranged a fireworks display in Russia on the night of the 19th of May, setting alight the military field Kushchevsk and the Slovyansk oil refinery.
Ебануться. Это было очень близко.
At the airfield, the attack took out a range of different aircraft based at the facility, many of which have been used for frontline aviation missions, including Su-34s, Su-25s, Su-27s, MiG-29s. The attack on the Slovyansk oil refinery also took the installation offline. This is already the second SBU drone attack on Kushchevsk in the last 3 weeks. But of course, expect the Russian propaganda to downplay it, as in, The aircraft was obsolete and rusted through, we didn't need them anyway, and so on. Copium addiction is becoming a bit of an issue at Kremlin troll farms, but who can blame them? And with this, we end this episode of Break the Fake. Please stay with us here on TVP World for more latest news and updates.